Hi, welcome to Art with Miss Ortiz. Today we're going to be doing some pattern work, just like we did on our mandalas, but we're actually going to be doing a desert cactus scene, which is one of my favorite things, so let's get started. For supplies today, you're going to need some drawing paper, a pencil, a Sharpie, and some colored pencils, or you can use crayons or markers. But today, to get started, you want to start with a pencil and lightly draw a hill at the bottom of your paper. Then we're going to draw the trunk of our cactus. You want to make it nice and wide and big and tall. Then you can add a couple arms to your cactus. I added about 2 arms. You can add more arms if you'd like to. Then we want to start adding the background to our picture. So we can add a couple hills and mountains. We want to make sure we're going behind the cactus, not going in front of it. So when artists add things in front of other things or behind them, that is called overlapping. So for the next part, I'm going to add my sky. So I'm starting with my sun. You can also add a moon if you wanted to instead of a sun. I think the sun's more interesting because you can do sunsets or a bunch of different blues and violets for a blue sky, but it's up to you. But do you see how I'm radiating my circles all the way throughout my sky? I don't want to just draw one circle for the sun. I want to keep going all throughout the sky. Once we've finished everything with pencil, then we can start by taking out a Sharpie. And we're going to trace over all of our lines with Sharpie. If you notice, I also added lines inside the cactus going vertically. So let's talk a little bit about patterns before we get started drawing our own patterns in our desert scene. A pattern is something that repeats itself over and over again. Whether it's drawing or there's a lot of things in this world that we can see patterns on, from quilts to the clothes we wear to even the tile work on our floors. So there's a lot of examples out there for us, but we can always as artists make our own patterns by mixing shapes and lines together to make something new that nobody's ever created before. I also know that sometimes we struggle coming up with patterns, even I do sometimes. So in the description of this video, I'll be adding a link to a website you can go to look at some patterns other people have came up with, and maybe that can help you generate some ideas. So what I'm doing here is adding some patterns and just doodling and coming up with ideas. This might be a good thing for you to do before you actually start making patterns on your piece, is taking a separate piece of paper and adding some patterns to it. And the last 2 steps of this project is you're going to go in every little line shape and you're going to add patterns to that, just like I did in mine. You want to add as many patterns as you can, so when you go to color it looks really exciting. Make sure when you're coloring that you're coloring really awesome, and I'm so happy you were here today. Thank you for watching and have fun.